Hey guys, it's Mr. C here. We were working on conversions of different systems between the metric system and the customary system today. So I wanted to go through our lesson with you just in case you missed it or you wanted to rewatch so you could get the gist of what's going on. The first thing is our warm-up questions. Anita brought one package of crackers that weighed 2.5 pounds and another package that weighed 3 pounds, 3 ounces. What was the combined weight of the two packages of crackers she bought? So here's how we would attack this problem. First thing we've got to do is we've got to change what the 2.5 pounds looks like. Okay, we could rewrite this as 2.5 pounds, like so, by just changing the decimal to a fraction, and then we can kind of split it apart. We have 2 entire pounds, and then we've got this half of a pound. Okay, the half of a pound, we've got to think how many ounces are in a pound normally. Normally, we have 16 ounces in a pound. So in this case, if we've got half of a pound, that's going to be 8 ounces. Then we can easily just add it. Oops, sorry about that. We just easily add it to the other package, which was 3 pounds and 3 ounces. And then we'll just add up our pounds and our ounces. 8 plus 3 gives me 11, and then 2 plus 3 gives me 5. So our final answer is 5 pounds, 11 ounces. Now, in a real-life scenario, if for whatever reason we had more than 16 ounces, we'd have to take 16 of them and regroup it as 1 pound. In this case, we didn't have to, and then whatever was left over would be the leftover ounces. Okay? The next one says, fill in the blank with greater than, less than, or equal to make a correct sentence. We got 5.625 kilometers, and then we have to determine the sign that goes in there compared to 562.5 meters. So what we've got to do is we've got to convert the kilometers to meters. We know that there are 1,000 meters inside of a kilometer. So all we have to do is take 5.625 times 1,000. Realistically, all we have to do there is we just have to move the decimal point over 3 times. Okay, that's what happens when we multiply by 1,000. We know this by this point. So this is really rewritten as 5,625 meters compared to 562.5 meters. It's very clear what needs to go in here for the inequality. It is the greater than symbol. Okay, so take a look at this conversion chart. It's on Canvas for you in the notes. There's also a completed version in Canvas as always. I need you to take a look at this and notice that we're going between customary units and metric units today. There's a big difference, okay? The rest of the world uses metric because it's a very consistent scale. And the customary units were actually started by King Henry over in England, Great Britain. And it was based off of the size of his foot, which is kind of funny. And some people realize that's not really the best way to measure it, so then they use the metric system instead, because it's very consistent. And the reason why America uses it is because where did the people that first came to America come from? They came from Great Britain, right? So they used their units of measurement over in Europe, and they brought it over to the colonies. And then they kept using it. And those people that started the United States, that's just what they used. So it's just been passed along from generation to generation, and this is what we use here in the United States. Anyways, back to not a history lesson. We'll use these. It's very important we pick the right thing, okay? Because if you pick the wrong conversion, then it makes it way harder for you to solve the problem. Okay, we're always going to pick the one where we have the unit to start with. So if the question gives us something in grams, we're going to start over on this one. It says we have 10 grams or whatever. We're going to want to pick the one where it starts with 1 gram. It'll be easy for us to find our scale factor number. Okay, if it says we're starting with 5 yards. Well, we want to find the one that says 1 yard, and then we're going to start with that one. Okay, that'll be the one that we start with our fractions as we are doing our problems. Okay, so let's go through a couple of them, and then you can kind of get the gist of what to do. Then you can try a couple on your own, and then we'll check the answers at the end of the video. So, first one, number 1, convert 4 inches to centimeters. So we're going from inches to centimeters. Oh, that silly bell. That's all right. We're going to hear some crowd noise in the background, but that's all right. It's the end of the day here. So we're going from inches to centimeters. We need to go back and we need to see if I have 1 inch, how many centimeters is that? So I'm going to go back. I'm going to erase these guys. I want to find where it says 1 inch equals how many centimeters. We're starting with 4 inches. So I want the one that says start with 1 inch. And there we have it. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. So on my first fraction, I'm going to write 1 inch on the top. And I'm going to put 2.54 centimeters on the bottom. Okay, that's a fancy way of saying 1 over 1. Okay, it's representing the same amount. All right, sorry, we're back. There's a slight interruption. So we have our setup 1 inch over 2.54 centimeters. So that is the same, okay? That's the same amount of length. So I'm going to put my 4 inches on the other side. I have 4 inches, and I want to know how many centimeters 4 inches is. So I've got to look for my scale factor number. My scale factor is going to be from the numerators, inches to inches. 1 times 4 that I have written in green is going to get me to 4 inches, so I'm going to multiply my denominator by the same scale factor times the green 4. 2.54 times 4, I don't know what that is off the top of my head, so I have to write it down on the side and do some extra work. 2.54 times 4, 4 times 4 is 16, carry the 1, 4 times 5 is 21, plus 1 is 21. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. I have 2 digits behind the decimal, so I need to make sure I have 2 digits behind the decimal in my final answer. My final answer is 10.16 centimeters. That's what would go down here in this denominator where I just wrote that question mark. Okay, number 2, convert 10 grams to ounces. So, I'm trying to make it a little prettier this time. 10 grams, I want to go to ounces. So this is the one I had screwed up before, and I had to spend a long time solving the problem. It's really difficult. I chose the wrong thing to start with. So I want to start with grams to ounces. So I want to find the thing on my chart that says, 1 gram is how many ounces. So I'm going to go back and look. What does it say? 1 gram is over here. 1 gram is 0.035 ounces. 0.035 ounces. So I'm going to write down, well, Mr. C, I've got 10 grams. So I'm going to put 10 grams on this side, and I'm going to look for how many ounces that would be. I'm going to take 1 gram times 10, my purple circle, that's going to be my scale factor times 10. We're going to do the same thing down here. 0.035 times 10. Realistically, when I set that problem up, all I'm really doing is multiplying by 10 so I can slide my decimal place 1 spot to the right. And it's going to give me a final answer of 0.35 ounces. And that is a logical answer to me because 1 gram is very, very, very small amount of ounces. Now I have 10 grams. It's still going to be a small amount of ounces, but it's going to be a lot bigger than what we started with. Okay. Last one I want to do with you before I let you try a few on your own is going to be convert 6 gallons to liters. So I've got gallons. It's very important you label with GAL. If you just put G, it stands We have gallons over liters. So I've got to go back to my chart. I want to find the one that says 1 gallon is how many liters. Let's go back to my chart. Where do I see 1 gallon equals how many liters? Well, a gallon is a customary unit, so it's on this side. 1 gallon is 3.785 liters. 3.785 liters. 3.785 liters. I've got 6 gallons. So I'm going to write 6 gallons over here. And I've got to find how many liters 6 gallons are. So I've got to find my scale factor number. I'm going to do times 6. In red, that's going to be my scale factor. 1 times 6 will give me the green 6. So I'm going to do 3.785 on the bottom times 6 as well. I don't know what that is off the top of my head, so I have to write it down off to the side. 6 times 5 is 30, carry 3. 6 times 8 is 48, plus 3 is going to be 51, carry 5. 6 times 7 is 42, plus 5 is 47, carry 4. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 4 is 22. I've noticed that I've got 1, 2, 3 digits behind the end of the decimal, so I need my answer to also have 3 digits behind the decimal to the right. 1, 2, 3. The decimal is going to live there. My answer will be 22 and 71 hundredths liters. Very important that you label it at the end. Very important so that you know what you're talking about. Okay? Push pause on the video right here and try number 4, 5, 6, and 7 on your own, please. All right, welcome back. So you can check your answers that I have here on the board. You need to set up the conversion. 1 milliliter is 0.034 fluid ounces, and then the scale factor is times 1500. Do your work off to the side, you'll end up getting 51. On number 5, we set up 1 centimeter is the same as 0.394 inches. The scale factor is 19, and we multiply across, and we get 7.486 inches. On number 6, we set up 1 kilogram is the same as 2.205 pounds. We multiply 2.205 times 200, and I'm getting 441 pounds. And the last one, number 7, we set up 1 mile is the same as 1.609 kilometers. So a kilometer is just a little bit bigger than a mile. So if we have 60 miles, we're going to multiply times the scale factor of 60. We'll end up getting 96.54 kilometers. Guys, you have some homework that's due tomorrow. There's 7 questions. It's not really too tricky, but please make sure that you have it so we can get you a nice other grade for completing your homework. Guys, I hope this helps. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I will see you soon.